Started, we're doing our meatballs. So this is the ingredients we're gonna use. So to make our meatballs, we're gonna use 2 pounds of ground beef. We're gonna put half a cup of crumb bread, and we're gonna put 1 egg, and we're gonna put half of a teaspoon of mint, half of a teaspoon of thyme, and 1 teaspoon of sea salt. And that's what we're gonna use to make our mixture for our meatballs. So here we're gonna get the soup started. So for the soup, we're gonna put 2 cups and a half of water. We're gonna add 3 tomatoes, 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon, and then we're gonna put 1 teaspoon of salt. So we're adding salt, and then we're gonna put our garlic, and then we're gonna make our soup. So we can start, we're gonna blend it so we can start making our meatballs. Soup started, so we're gonna put it in the pot, and we're gonna turn it on to medium high so I can start cooking the soup before we make our meatballs, so it can be ready, so we can dunk them in there when our meatballs are ready. So for the soup, we're gonna cut our potatoes. So we're just gonna cut them into 4 pieces once we slice them. So here we go, 4 pieces. It doesn't need to be little pieces, because whatever is your preference, you could cut them small or big. I just cut them into 4 pieces like that. So you just cut your potato, and there you go. We have our potato ready. And now we're gonna cut our carrots. And you could put your piece of onion in the soup so it could give it flavor, or you could throw it in the blender, either or. So now we're gonna put this aside and let the soup start cooking, and now we're gonna make our meatballs. So for our meatballs, we're just gonna add 1 egg so it could get sticky, so we could put them together. So we add 1 egg, and then we add the half a cup of crumb bread. So we're gonna just mix it around with the egg. And these are 2 pounds of ground beef. So now that we mix the egg and the breadcrumbs, we're gonna add a teaspoon of salt. We're gonna add thyme, 1/2 teaspoon, and mint. And this is what we give our meatballs flavor. So now we mix it around really good. So we're mixing it all around and waiting for our soup to get warm. Once our soup gets warm, we could start adding, we're gonna start rolling our meatballs so they could go into the warm soup. So the way we do that, we just get a little bit of ground beef, and we just move it around, and we just make a little circle, and before you know it, you have one. So there we go. We're gonna start. We're gonna wait on our soup to get warm. So here's our soup. It's starting to get a little bit warm. So we want more soup than that. So it's not enough water that we put in tomato. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add another 1.5 cups of water, because we wanna make this soup more soup than that we have done already. And I'm gonna add 1 cup of tomato sauce. So just because I want it to be a little bit more tomatoey. So we're adding 1 cup of tomato to our soup. And now we're gonna add our carrots. We're gonna add our carrots and our potatoes. And as soon as it starts to get hotter than what it is right now, we're gonna taste it for flavor. So it tastes good because we added 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon to give it flavor. So it's good on the salt, and then we added salt on the ground beef. So I think that's good. So we're gonna wait for it a little bit. We're gonna wait for it to get a little bit hotter, and then start dunking in our meatballs. So here's our soup, and it's already cooking, our tomato soup with carrots and potatoes. And now I think we're ready to start adding our meatballs to it. So we're gonna give it a little mix to our meatballs, and so we could start dunking our meatballs in there. So just giving it a little move to our ground beef with it. So now we're gonna start dunking our little meatballs in there. So we just round, see, and before you know it, we have one, and we're gonna throw it in there. Now we're gonna do another one. You know what, I was trying to use the gloves, but they're too noisy. So I'm just gonna use my hands. So see, we're gonna do another one, and just throw it in there. And we're making the rice at the same time. So we're just gonna move it around because we're frying our rice. And we're just gonna make white rice with salt and chicken flavor and butter. We threw butter in there. A little dab, a little 1/3 piece of the butter stick. So right now we're just browning our rice. So here we go, another meatball. It's gonna be in there. I clean my hands and then move my rice. So the rice is almost brown to the color that I wanted, so if we could just... So to the rice we're gonna add some chicken flavor bouillon, and we're gonna add, it's 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And throw water. So 2 cups of water, and we're gonna move it around. And that's it. We're gonna cover it. And bring it to number 3 so it could cook. Okay, so now we're gonna keep on going with our meatballs. So see, put another one in there. Gonna move the vegetables around because the meatballs are standing on the vegetables. So we use 2 pounds of ground beef. This is gonna feed 4 people, plus we'll have leftovers for lunch. And this is the last one. So we got a little one. I'm gonna throw it in there. So here we go. We dunk all our meatballs in there, and they're in the soup. And we'll let them cook. So it's we're gonna put it at number 4. So it's kind of like a medium heat. Now we're gonna cook them, and we're gonna cover them, and we're gonna throw our piece of cilantro to give it just flavor. That just gives it flavor. So our soup is done. I'm gonna turn it off already. And now I'm gonna serve myself. So we're gonna get some vegetables in there. And put 1. 2 meatballs. I'm gonna put more juice in it. And then we're gonna put some rice. I'm just gonna add a little scoop of rice on it, on the plate. And this is it. This is my meatball soup with rice on the side, and we're gonna let it cool, and then we're gonna taste it. But it smells delicious. I wish you guys could smell how beautiful it smells. So we're gonna try them out. We already let them cool off, so we're gonna give it a try. Tastes delicious. You could always eat it with a tortilla. Delicious. I'll get another try. Get some vegetables in there, and you could dunk your tortilla. Delicious. Thank you for coming to my channel. Don't forget to like, and I welcome all your comments. Thank you.